Yesterday I did a movie and I was very upset about what I did. I was impatient, I was not careful, I had a little fight with this guy and I think that's terrible. And I have to admit that I noticed it afterwards. I was not myself. There was something bothering my mind and that was true. So today, it's the end of the day. I want to do the same with this horse as I try to learn with him together, letting him walk around in freedom because then he can find his own balance. He's the best when he walks normal. Um, and make it small, make every movement, all the signals small, small, small. That's the main goal of this, you might say, silly letting a horse walk around you in a sand place. Well, it looks silly, but it has a purpose. And the purpose is to make sure that this horse is going to respond on small signals. And I mean small signals, so I actually want to stand lazy in the middle and do almost nothing to make the horse be able to move. That's a combination to me of training and having this psychological line. And if you don't see the psychological line, I'm very sorry, but it's definitely there. That's one of the reasons why I make these videos. To express, to show people how a horse is feeling. He's a little bit lazy. He's a little bit lazy guy, and it's the end of the day, so it's not the perfect moment to work. It's if you want energy, you get them out of the stalls and then work them. But I chose to do it at the end of the day. It's more calm, and yesterday, I'm not proud of the struggle we had. So I'm doing it again. I'm doing the same thing I did yesterday, and I'm praising him for his cooperation. I'm praising him, I'm thanking him. That's my intention to do. So all I want is this horse to be calm near me. Just celebrate the moment of being together. And perhaps you remember the ear issue, and you will see at the end of the movie what happened with the ear. Anyway, let's go back to what I do. I want to make him move away from me without discussion. And I have to make myself clear what is I want. So I have to walk a little bit at the back of the horse. I use a whip, not on purpose to hit him, but definitely to touch him if I think it's necessary to do so. A whip is to me it's a tool. It's something that makes myself bigger. And it's a tool so I can touch the horse wherever I want to without moving too much. Some people get very upset if they see a whip. Well, that's my goal for horses, not to upset them. Trust is the biggest proof of love, and love is care, and care is work together like this. I want to let him step forward towards the whip so he can do this Spanish walk. It's a trick, you might say it's a trick, it is somehow, but it's also meant in this horse to make him stronger, to make him come forward, to make him proud. And you can see on his tail and on his head down that he's a little bit worried, insecure, and he's not sure about what he has to do and what do I ask and am I real? Can he trust me? There are all kinds of questions that have to be solved before I can say, okay, we have a relationship. Of course, we already have a relationship, but I want to make it more perfect. When I did this exercise, I let him walk, and I do that with all the horses which I teach this Spanish walk. I let them walk so the adrenaline, if they had some nervous, give some tense, so I can let them run. The blood runs around the veins, and the horse is cleaning his head. And I have to admit also that for a good Spanish walk, you need a horse which is a little bit excited. If a horse is lazy and down, he will lift his foot, his hoof, but it's not a Spanish walk. That was a nice change of direction, wasn't it? If I look it back, I can see that he's going all right, but it's a little bit too too nervous still. So that needs perfection, perfection, perfection. It's the same what you want in writing. So that's why I use this. So we perfectionize, we make it smaller, we make all the signals smaller. And I'm a little bit chasing him, a little bit making him excited and asking him, inviting him actually to play. Okay, here we stand in front of each other, asking him the Spanish walk again. That's a nice move, but it's not a Spanish real walk. That's better. Now I want him to go forward. And that's pretty hard when there's a free horse and you don't have a rope to pull on. You really have to use all the skills you have to invite the horse to come. Now he's biting towards the whip, and I like this behavior because that means that he's answering, he's giving answers. He's saying, I don't like you to be there with the whip, and I like it if they do that. It sounds strange, but I'm looking forward. I'm looking to the future. I want this horse to be awake. I want him to be proud, like he was now, holding his head high, and now he dares to come because he's a little bit more self-assured. And this being self-assured, I think, is very important for a horse because horses are insecure and they look, they admire us for our smartness. And that's intelligence in animal world is something very, very important and very special. So they admire us, people, because we are so smart. We can open gates, we can open doors, we can feed, we can do all kinds of magical things. Not that the horse thinks it's magic, but he definitely admires us. So I want this, I want to be gentle and I want to be man, and I call it being gentleman, being clear, being honest, building on trust, building on confidence, building on your personality, playing a little and having these breaks. That's very, very important in play. In their nature, in their own play, they play sometimes a little bit rough and then they have a break, they have a pause, and they sort of tell each other that it was just, just a game, it was just play. And in play you can do everything. You can be a little bit angry, you can be submissive, you can be dominant, you can do everything you want without the meaning of harming the other one. Now I'm working on his ear again. Perhaps you might have remembered this horse had an issue on his ear. So I sort of, fooled him a little bit. I put my hand behind his ears, so my hand is coming in front of his head, on the brain part. And most horses like it like that place to be touched. When you scratch a little, it's something they cannot do themselves. And that's what I did to help him a little bit with his ear issue. I know the cause, probably, I'm not sure about that, but I know they shaved his ears before he came to us. And I think that's, for a horse, it could be pretty traumatic. So after that, you will not let anybody touch your ear again, because it gives you a bad memory. And as you can see, he's calm, he's relaxed, he's a little bit insecure, and now I'm touching him a little too much, according to him. So he has his full backs, but I could touch it quite some time. I'm going to do it more close-up so I can show you what I'm doing. Oh, I can look so nice and so friendly. This was a movement I couldn't do before. Not always, especially not when he's tense. And this is how I show you that I fool him a little bit. I'm not really touching his ear, but I'm touching the other ear. And with my arm, I'm touching the ear, the left ear. That's the issue. He doesn't realize. Now he does. Now he does. So I have to close this exercise, which is actually an exercise, on a good moment. I have to be creative. What do I do now? Okay, he shows me again. I know what you're doing. So I'm going to distract him. And this is a moment that I think, okay, I'm just pretending that I'm looking for something. And if I give you food, I know I can touch your ear. And when I can, when it's going good, I stop. Good horse.